here with all of my guests, sharing their journey to success, sharing with us the ups and downs, and some of the projects that they have going on, and giving us a little insight on their lives. So today I have author, filmmaker, host, and playwright Deonte Bolden. I'm so excited because Deonte has so many things going on, and in this case, busy is good. You have a lot on your plate. Let me ask you, Deonte, what is your passion?
My passion is telling stories. I love creating fascinating stories with fascinating characters. I love telling stories that can impact the world and our
Mhm.
communities and the nation. I'm just always about what can I create next. So I love storytelling. The art of storytelling is just beautiful to me. So.
So when did you get started? And by storytelling, do you mean writing or?
Yes, storytelling, writing scripts, if it's plays, books,
Mhm.
because I do several different things. But
Mhm.
I got started in writing at a young age. I had a brother with special needs. He had muscular
Okay.
dystrophy. Unfortunately, he passed in 2006.
Wow. Sorry
But
about
thank you. But it was my escape when he was here because at a young age, I didn't really understand what it was like to have a brother with special needs. And it was kind
that.
of
Right.
me getting in my own world and creating. But more importantly, after he passed away, I suffered from depression,
Mm.
anxiety, and it was just really my escape to allow my voice to be heard, because I contemplated suicide twice in my life because
Oh
I
no.
really felt like I had got to a place of not really feeling like I had purpose. But it was until I discovered the passion and the art for writing where I was like, I have a voice. This is my
Right.
lane now, and I'm able to express myself. And it really saved my life. Writing saved my life. So.
Right. I was talking to another author just the other day, and I was telling him, even when I wrote my book back in 2012, writing is like free therapy, you
Hmm.
know,
It is.
and you don't have to verbally talk to anyone, and you don't have to, write to someone specific, but just the fact of jotting it down, getting it out of your brain. It's for me, it was like free therapy, you
It
know.
is. It's very therapeutic because a lot of times you don't realize what people go through in their
Hmm.
life. I put a lot of my what I'm going through with my feelings and my thoughts
Hmm.
into these different characters, and I'm able
Right.
to have an outlet. Even with the latest movie, I'm quite sure we'll talk about The Skin I'm In.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be, of course, submitting to your festival. A lot of that was just discussion and things that I heard and had to deal with myself with certain things. So it's just like it's very therapeutic for me.
Wow. So you
Mm.
did bring up your movies. I know that you have one, Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. What year did that one release?
Well, that was a stage play. It was
Oh, same
originally written as a movie, but
uh-huh.
I didn't have the budget for the movie at the time, so I was like, "We're
Mhm.
gonna turn this into a play," and I did
Do
it.
what you gotta
Yeah,
do.
I did it in 2019, and we
Mhm.
had two sold out productions, and then I
That's
did it
awesome.
again last year, and we had four sold out shows. And
Wow.
I ended up, just writing about this film because it was a letter to my mom. My mom always growing up, I used to hear, I want to have, a husband, because my mom and dad divorced when I was young. And
Hmm.
it was just my letter to her to tell her, to be patient, because sometimes we think that we want to be in love, but we end up falling in love with the wrong person. And it
Hmm.
has really just touched so many people's lives and helped them to realize that, yeah, we want to be in love, but we need to be
Hmm.
cautious too, because Mr. Right ain't always Mr. Right. And it's just a beautiful story. And the message was, love doesn't hurt, but loving the wrong one does. And it was
Right.
a beautiful stage play. So.
Right. Yeah, you got that right. Yeah. Look, don't tell anybody, but I was married twice. Okay. So yeah,
Okay.
you're right about that.
Yes, you look
Yeah.
just so young. I'm like, married twice. Like you
I
just.
don't know about all that. Now your second, now The Skin I'm In. What is this, synopsis with that one?
Yes. So the skin I'm in, I actually came up with this concept just being at a mall, overhearing a conversation with these
Hmm.
young girls, and it's about a beautiful story about a woman, Melanie, who grew up being biracial, being bullied and teased for being biracial, and she's now
Mm.
a mother, and she has a daughter who's also biracial because she's married to a white man, and
Okay.
she wants to protect her daughter and not allowing her daughter to have the same experiences that she had growing up. So she teaches her daughter how to become a colorist, thinking that she's protecting her and instilling all these ideas into her,
Wow.
but not realizing that she's doing more harm than good to her daughter. And her daughter ends up experiencing racism in a way in the film that she didn't imagine her to. And it's just a beautiful story when we don't deal with a lot of our pain and trauma. We end up carrying that to our adulthood and passing it on to our
Yes.
offspring. And the experiences that she had throughout this film and how she really comes to her senses, it's just such a beautiful story of self-acceptance, love, forgiveness, and really just, learning how to embrace who you are. Just the trailer itself has people on the edge of their seat. So I can't wait to
Yeah.
really share this film with everybody. So.
That sounds intriguing. I can't wait to see that.
Yes, and we actually have the film premiere here in March. You're invited
Okay.
if you're able to. March 25th, I'm premiering it here in Atlanta. And once I premiere it, I'm going to be submitting it to festivals. I really
Awesome.
just want to get the message out because I just feel like that it's so needed. Colorism is just the issue that
Yes.
we tend to sweep under the rug a lot of times, but it still exists. And a
Right.
lot of people were like, I know a Melanie, and you hate
Mhm.
to love her because
Mhm.
she's just such a powerhouse in this film, but
Wow.
she's also someone that we can see ourselves, different parts of ourselves in as well.
Yeah,
So
that sounds good. It sounds like something that a lot of people can relate to.
yes, yes,
Wow.
so many,
Now
yes.
I'm gonna keep it moving because we have a lot of ground to cover with you. So not only do you have the films, but you have your award show coming up in, is it May, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, how did you come up with that concept? The
You know,
Deonte Bolden Awards, or could give
yeah,
us the right title?
yeah. It's the Bolden Award.
The Bolden Award.
Yes, where boldness meets greatness. I've been in this industry for a while now,
Hmm.
writing, and I've been nominated for so many different,
Wow.
awards, and I also won an award.
Hmm.
But I was just really amazed at the concept of how the awards are given out. A lot of
Hmm.
favoritism, nepotism in our
Mm.
communities. And when you go to award shows, a lot of times people tend to be stuck up and self-centered, and you're like, I just want to get to know people and
Right.
build my network of people, but everybody feels like they're better than the next. And I
Yeah.
complained about it for so many years, and then God was just like, why don't you just create your own award
Right.
show?
Right.
Yeah. So I created the Bolden Awards, and I said if I ever create an award show, I wanted to have a big significance. I wanted to have, something that can really just impact people. That's my goal, to impact. So I wanted to center this award show around those who've overcome obstacles and adversities while achieving excellence. I really am passionate about the struggle story behind the success. A lot of times we want to glorify the success, and I made it. I'm here. I got this. But never do we talk about the struggles that we had to go
Mhm.
through to get to where we are.
Right.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's so many people in situations where they feel like they can't come out because they see people glorifying themselves on social media,
Right.
but nobody wants to talk about, well, I, was evicted from my home. I was broke
Mhm.
at the time. I
Mhm.
was homeless. I
Yeah.
overcame cancer or
Yeah.
whatever those things are. So that's where we come in at the Bolden Awards, baby, to say, hey, we see you, but we also want to know, we also want to commend you and celebrate, your struggle to success
Mhm.
story,
Mhm.
So we have amazing honorees, and people who have overcome, eviction and homelessness, to people who've
Yeah.
overcome cancer and so many different things. And
Yeah.
I'm just excited because so many people are impacted by the award show. They're coming from Canada and different parts of
Wow.
the world to be a part of it. So I'm excited, and you're invited as well. I would love to have
Yeah,
you.
you know what? What's so funny is because when I saw you online, I said, I know that your name sounds familiar. Your name sounds familiar. But doing the festival and doing events, as you know, you see a lot of names, but your name stuck with me. And then coincidentally, well, I don't believe in coincidences. So, it's a reason for everything. But last night, I got a text message from Remarcus. You probably know him as Vigilante.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was like, would you please be at the Bolden Awards with me? Yada yada. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm interviewing him tomorrow. And I'm like, that's how I remembered your name because
Yeah.
he had mentioned it previously. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think I saw your name anyways regarding the skin I'm in. So, obviously you've already impacted people's lives.
Thank
So,
you.
and you've gotten to meet a lot of people. But let me ask you, how did even though you wanted to do that, with all that being said, what you said, how did you actually get, when did you become inspired to actually do this? Was it something that you always thought about, or did you just say, well, hey, I want to do an award show, or you know?
It was something I always said that I want to do. I'm
Mhm.
very um maybe I guess it's my upbringing. My mom and dad, they're both, influential people. I'm
Mhm.
always about owning your own stuff, and I feel like to me, we're so
Yep.
busy trying to fight at a seat to get to someone else's table, but it's like
Yeah.
build your own. And I'm all about that. I love being a part of what other people do, but
Mhm.
I want to leave a legacy. And for me,
Mhm.
that creating my own award show and putting my
Right.
name on things and having my own production company and
Yeah.
just not waiting for people to give me an opportunity, but creating my own opportunities. And part of doing that was just, really creating my own award show. I actually went to sleep one night and the
Mhm.
Bolden Awards came into my mind in my dream.
Wow.
And it said, where boldness meets greatness. And I got up that night and I was like, let me write that down.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
ever since then, I've just been going with it. The award categories came to me the next day and I was
Wow.
writing them down. I literally have a notebook where the award categories just literally came
Wow.
out. And a lot of people love that. It's like, I love your award categories. And I'm like, it just came to me out of nowhere. And,
Yeah.
I just believe that God has an intention for all of us and a purpose. And
Mhm.
his purpose was for me to create this award show. So I'm just
Yeah.
flowing with it.
Exactly. I love being around and talking to people like you, Deonte,
Mhm.
because you're so inspiring.
Thank you.
And, myself, I try to do a lot of things, and people say, oh, well, why are you doing that? You already got a lot on your plate. But, you said it. It's like, if you're someone who wants to leave a legacy, and I believe that your gifts can impact someone else's lives, and what you've done already, just by you're doing the plays, the movie, the award show, you're definitely impacting somebody's lives. And I was just telling my another interview that I had, I said, if you don't use those gifts, you don't know who you are affecting. You don't even know. Someone might not even tell you, and you're, if affecting someone's life. So that's awesome. I really
Thank
think
you.
that's awesome.
I agree with your saying because, the more that you put yourself out there, the more you're given an opportunity to impact someone. And sometimes you don't
Hmm.
realize that you're impacting people because I go through a lot because a lot of people are like, I wish I could do what you do. And I'm like, do you really? Because of the things that you experience behind the scenes. But it's beautiful
Hmm.
when it all comes together. And I'm just
Yeah.
inspired by people like you. When
Yeah.
I saw you, I was like, I got to connect with her because I love that you're building something, your own film festival. I think that's incredible because you're establishing your own platforms and you're building a legacy because you just never know who's watching what you're doing and being inspired by
Right.
your journey.
That's true. How is it with networking, and with you doing all this? Do you have any obstacles? Because I know you said behind the scenes. How is it, meeting people, networking with people, and have you gotten any, you know, I won't say opposition, but tell us about behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes is interesting. Even with this award show, when you're trying to build something from the ground up, you find that everybody wants to get on board when the train is moving and everything
Oh
is going.
yeah, tell me
But
about
yeah,
it.
so everybody's just like in the beginning, so what you want me to do? And I'm like, well, and my committee for this award show has been interesting because everybody comes with their own agenda. It's like,
Oh
I see
yeah,
what you're doing and you're doing all these great things. And let me connect with Deonte, but it's like nobody wants to help you to build from the ground up,
right,
and to me, if you're not willing to carry bricks to help me to build, then I don't need you to be a part of the, project. But you find that, I started out with a committee of 15 people when I started
Oh,
Award Show.
I already know what the end of the story is. Don't look.
Can I tell you how many is on there now? I think I got about 5 or 6.
Yep.
So it's been interesting. I
It's a
find that
learning experience for
yeah,
sure.
it's a learning experience. You start to really understand and know who your team of people are and who really
Mhm.
are your true supporters. Because everybody says, I support you, I do what you do. But then once people start seeing it getting off the ground, those same people try to come back and be like, I want to be a
Yeah.
part of this and
Yeah.
that. But you learn a lot about yourself, and I realized that I don't need the people who I necessarily thought I needed because I reached
Mhm.
out to some prominent people
Mhm.
and some people who just really I thought were going to be supportive. But support sometimes can be very discouraging. But I realized that my growth has developed to a new levels now because I'm not so much worried about who supported me. I'm just supporting
Yes,
myself. And I'm realizing
exactly.
that if I did it before, God can do it again and he can continue to build. And as long as God is for me, then it doesn't matter who's against me. I'm just going to
Yeah.
keep.
It sounds like you've been reading out of my playbook.
Yeah, because you listen, you learn really, really
Yeah,
quick. And
right.
it
Really
used to
fast.
bother me because I was like, why don't people support me? And
Yeah,
why aren't people trying to, do what I'm doing? And I realized that sometimes the journey you must walk alone so God can help us
exactly.
build character. Because some of
Hmm.
us were so weak minded sometimes to think
Yeah,
that we need so many people in
yeah,
our corner. And I realized I can build it on my own.
yeah.
And eventually God was sending helping people because I just been
Hmm.
this process as well. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Deonte, the first year that I did the festival, which was in 2019, I did it in person. The next 2 years we were virtual, but the first year I did the festival, I had people I had never met before in life tell me after they saw my ads and everything that I would not be able to. They prophesied this to me. I would not be able to do the festival without them. Or with, yeah, and I'm like, but I don't even know you. I could tell you maybe about 9 or 10 people, different people that I've never met before, told me that. People telling me what I should, what I shouldn't do, and I'm like, where did this even come from? I don't even know these people. So I had to learn really quick to just whatever I want to do, just go ahead and do it, because the vision was mine and not anyone else's. So
Yeah.
whether you and your team, whether you had to just kind of like, slim that team out or whatever, remember that is Deonte, this the Bolden Awards. It's
Yeah.
not the Bolden, Terry, Lisa, Tammy, and Renee's awards. No, it's you. You had the vision. You woke up that night, and so be it. But it's really amazing what you're doing, and I think it's awesome everything that you're doing.
Thank you. And I love what you just said because I had to realize that there were so many people in my ear because people love when someone is starting something to get in your
Yeah,
ear and tell you how it's supposed to look. And I had to
yeah,
say, oh, you got to have this. And they were trying to get me on this big budget, which I
yeah.
see the reward show in the future of getting to
Exactly.
that level.
That's what I was
But
gonna
people
ask
like
you.
this year, and the people in this first year that's like, oh, you got to have this. You got to have a big jazz band. You got to have this. You got to make sure that. And I was so stressed out in the beginning. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this now, but I
Right.
realized I had to cut out the noise and focus
Yes.
on what's
Definitely.
important. Because sometimes we'll stress ourselves out trying to
Yeah.
start something because everybody's in our ear trying to tell us how the vision is supposed to be played out. And I had to
Right.
realize it for myself.
Yeah. I'll tell you another thing that I came across. A lot of people, like you said, how you thought certain people would support and others did or didn't. Some of the people who I wanted to be a part, who I reached out to, were too I guess maybe like too thinking they were too full of themselves to want to lend their name, and then other people who I had no idea, who are on 3 levels above them, lent their name. And I'm saying, you know what, that it all around it was a learning lesson. And but I'm grateful for that, because every time you go through something, it's like, okay, you're stronger and better for the next time around. And so
Yeah.
is your first year doing the award show?
Yes, and what you're
Oh wow.
saying, I'm like, I wish I could talk to her in the beginning because it's great. That's why I love networking and building with people like
Hmm.
you who can really give you stuff. Because I have people, with the award show, because the award show is grand and
Yeah.
everybody wants to be awarded and accepted. But I have people, just like you said, who thought they were at a certain level that they
Yeah.
had all these demands. I had somebody tell me I had to have the camera following them around the whole award show. I had people telling me that they wanted green Skittles in their dressing room. I
No
had all of
way.
this stuff, and I was like, I could see if I was bringing
Look,
Beyonce or
look,
Angela Bassett
let
or
me
Vanessa.
talk to him, because I tell people straight up. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't got the budget for it. Because
Right. And people don't,
I've
yeah,
had
and
that.
people don't understand when you're starting out. And it's like, this
Yeah.
is where we want to be, but this
Yeah.
is not where we're starting out at. So
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
realize, the type of people that, so many people are excited, the right people are coming along where I'm
Hmm.
able to honor them. But
Yeah.
it's the journey that you go through with, because when you're talking, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly how you feel. Because,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people are on this this high level. And I'm like, well, you stay up there. I'm just going to go over here. So.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, Deonte. I won't hold you long, but now that you have accomplished so many different things, and it centers around you being an author and a filmmaker and a playwright, where do you see yourself in the near future? You already have the award show established, so it's like you've already met some of your goals. I'm thinking. So, where do you see yourself in the near future?
I see myself in the near future. Well, I have a magazine that's going to be coming out, the Bold
Awesome.
magazine, and building the Bolden Academy. Eventually, I want my own studio. I don't know if you saw. I was really amazed this past weekend. I went to the Legacy Center. I don't know if you ever been there here in
No,
Atlanta.
I haven't. I you
It's
contacted them.
beautiful, and it just really inspired me. Like I don't have to have like the big Tyler Perry studio. If that's what God
Right,
wants me to have, that's great. But
right.
just building my own studio and just being able to speak on stages and inspire people.
Yeah.
And one day, of course, having a family. But for me, it's just really continuing to build a legacy. Making
Mm-hmm,
more movies, making more plays.
mm-hmm,
Really just performing on greater stages. I
mm-hmm.
actually want to do a Broadway production for my book Differently Able that I wrote for children with special needs, so that's
Okay.
on the agenda. And just growing and grinding. I
Right.
just want to see myself grow. When I look back at my social media,
Mm-hmm.
I always want to be able to say, wow, I've grown since then. I want
Yes,
to see
yes,
growth and development. So yeah, that's me.
yes. And let me ask you, because you seem very young to me. So, and you accomplished a lot in a small amount of time. What do you mind telling us how old you are?
I'm 33. I'll be 34 in May.
Oh my God. So
Yeah.
you're young. You have so much more to give and I mean, I don't even know. You'll probably be like, well, I mean, you already, international or whatever, but you will probably be like out the park in another 5, 10 years. So, I mean, that's
You
awesome
too.
that
You
you're doing this
too.
so young. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you too. I can see you growing. Yeah, we're growing together.
Well,
I
look,
just
you don't know how old I am.
well, you look young and you look great,
I
but
feel young. I put it like that. I feel young and I'm trying to get caught up. But
yeah.
it's like so inspiring to see someone like yourself doing everything that you're doing right now, you
Thank
know?
you. Yeah, I just want to inspire other people that they can go for their dreams and goals. And for
Hmm.
me, somebody said, "What do you want your legacy to be?" And I said to know that there's purpose in the midst of the pain. I've
Hmm.
experienced a lot of, setbacks and a lot of different things. But as long as I continue to push forward
Hmm.
and not allow those odds to define me,
Right,
I feel like I'm inspiring a nation. So.
right. What would you tell someone else who's probably 10 years younger than you that aspires to do even one of the things that you've done so far?
To be consistent and work hard. One thing I don't like that tends to be a pet peeve of mine is when people say they want to do something, but
Hmm.
they're not consistent with it. You have to
Right.
stay into the course, and do it. For me, I'm always like, if I'm working on something, I want to see it through and
Hmm.
I want to actually see it come to fruition
Right.
and make it happen. What's the point of me talking about the Bolden Awards and then I'm here 5 years later to still talk about the Bolden Awards and I haven't put on a show?
Right.
Just be
Exactly.
consistent, and see it through, and believe in yourself. That's the important thing because a lot of times we get into this industry and things and we tend to want validation from other people and we want people to glorify us and realize that most time if you're doing something just like me, I realize that a lot of people don't support me because they don't want me to believe in myself, but
Mm-hmm.
they're watching on the outside, and a lot of times people are not going to support you because you're doing something that they don't have the guts to do. So
Mm-hmm.
believe in yourself and know that you're worthy of anything that you want to accomplish and go
Mm-hmm.
for it and be great.
Yes, awesome.
Be
That's
bold. Yes.
well. Look, I got some events coming up. I need you as a speaker at some of those events because you like everything you saying is like on the dot, on the
Yeah,
target. You know,
yeah, I'm definitely there, and even with your festival, I'm there if you need me to
awesome.
volunteer, help out. I will be submitting my film, but I just want to be a part of that. I love what you're doing. I love your personality. I love
Well, thank
your,
you.
seeing you grow and grind. So definitely want to be there.
Thank you so much, Deonte. Do you have
Uh,
anything else that you would like to say to our viewers before we go?
No, just continue to be all that God has called you to be.
Hmm.
Continue to grind. Continue to be bold. My word for this year is bold. So I really want people to
Hmm.
go out and make bold moves this year. Do things
Yes.
that are out of the ordinary, out of the box, out of your comfort zone, and realize that if you are still comfortable, then you have not grown. So it's time
Right.
to get uncomfortable and get comfortable
Right.
being uncomfortable. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm about to do another venture, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm confident, but like you said, I'm not. You summed it up just now. I'm not all the way comfortable because I'm a little scared. So
right.
I think that's a good thing, though.
It is. If you're scared
Because,
to do it, I'm scared
yeah,
out of my mind to do the Bolden Awards. I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know it's gonna be great and it's stretching
right.
me. So
Yeah,
yeah, you're in the right. You're in the right
yeah.
place.
It's already good. So, tell us when your movie premiere is.
Yeah, so the Skin I'm In, Volume 1, Melanin Melanie, it's a three-part series. So the
Mhm.
first part will be premiering March 25th at 6 p.m. It's going to be at Trey's Place, which is in Forest Park, Georgia.
Okay.
You can go on my social media at Deonte Bolden Productions, Instagram, and all of that to see more of the flyer. But we're going to be doing the red carpet premiere at 6. At 7, we'll start
Okay.
the film premiere. And then, of course, the Bolden Awards again, May the 20th, 2023 at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Start the red. We have the gold carpet here because I got to be fancy,
Oh. Okay.
and then we're gonna have the award starts at 8 p.m. So come out, be a part of both
That
of these
sounds
events.
awesome.
It's gonna be
Now,
some
how
great.
should I dress? Because I'm like, I need to. I lost a little bit of weight, so I'm thinking I need to go buy something for the award.
So, yeah, so for the award show, we are trying to keep the gold and black theme, but I know some
Okay.
people have their red dress they want to put on. So
Mhm.
whatever's comfortable, but you want to be upscale because we're gonna have pictures, we're gonna have media
Awesome.
there and all that stuff. So we want to make sure you want to be gold carpet ready.
That sounds amazing. So I'm going to have all of Deonte's information in the description below. So if you want to check out his movie premiere or the award show or anything else that he has going on, just check the description. I will have a link to his social media so you can check him out there, all his contact information. Other than that, if you guys enjoyed the show today, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody about the Bolden Awards. Tell everybody about the skin I'm in, and tell everybody about Success Mode. Come back, share some more time with me, and we'll have another amazing guest just like Deonte. Thank you so much, Deonte, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to seeing you at the show and at the premiere.
Awesome.